Everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Let's see what we're gonna do today and then see how much of it we're gonna really get done. I guess I have to get rid of this. So we now need 5 games with the Rogue or Warrior and 2 games with the Priest and Warlock. Let's just focus on that, and 3 games with the with any class. So, not having a good time right now. Not having a good time at all. Let's go ahead to casual. I'm ready to move away from that. Let's go to standard. Let's go to priest. Let's hop in. So I've mentioned it many times that my server has been a mess. It's been a mess for probably 6 months to a year now. I simply have not had the energy or desire to work on it. Plus, I've also had issues of just not having enough space to try and recover the data. At this point, I don't even care about recovering the data. It's just get it back to working order and starting over again. Which, starting over again is going to become a recurring theme. So what was potentially 7 years worth of backups are probably all gone. Maybe it's not as important of stuff as it was. There is this compounded thing where I've never had enough room to do massive things, massive projects that would take up terabytes and terabytes of data. You simply just couldn't buy a hard drive that's big enough. Even now, I can only buy 5 terabyte hard drives, and I can only, it seems like, put 16 in my server. One of the connections is just, regardless of whatever hard drive you put in it, it just does not work. So there's something wrong with the controller card there. So yeah, that's been a mess. I haven't fixed it. I worked on it a little bit. I'm trying to get at least 1 hard drive out of that computer to put back into my main computer, so I have some backup space to do some backups on the main computer that I'm recording on now. And in the middle of that, I decided stupidly to within the first few days of it being available, upgrade my phone to Marshmallow, which my phone is pretty old. It's an LG G3, so CyanogenMod, Marshmallow, CyanogenMod, Marshmallow build that's CyanogenMod 13 came out as a nightly build, not a stable build at all. Although it seems like it works fine, it's just they won't refuse to label anything for the LG G3 as stable because the maintainers of CyanogenMod have flown the coop and they're trying to do something different. We really need another mod out there that gains as much popularity as CyanogenMod did, so that I could jump the ship there. But modding phones has fallen out of fashion because, except for a few things, you don't need to mod your phone anymore. The few things you need are, you want root access, and the reason why you want root access is so you can install an ad blocker, because Android apps are crazy full of ads.
Today,
games or not, it's just like, yeah, you're gonna watch an ad to use this file browser. You're gonna watch an ad to use this, to use a music player. You're gonna watch an ad to do so many different things that it's ridiculous. I just simply don't want to put up with it. I also want a firewall on my phone. I just want to be paranoid like that. That gets back to the ads. It also gets back to if you have to give permissions to apps, which you had to do before Marshmallow a lot more. Now with CyanogenMod's mods, Privacy Guard, and a lot of the built-in things of Marshmallow, that's no longer the case. So it's nice that they've made some improvements there. But the number one thing I think you want to root and mod your phone for is just backing up, because Google's backup just doesn't seem to work. It doesn't restore all the data and stuff. Although I've just found folders on my file, my newly formatted phone, that don't seem like they should be there. So I don't know, maybe it's just really slow about restoring things in the background. I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that one. Bad trap. So bad trap, we can take this guy out. That's good, because I kind of need to heal myself. I wish I knew how powerful Cthulhu was right now. So if I play this, can I regain 10 health to my hero? So yeah, but I lost my phone, all the data. I was able to restore from a backup that was probably about 4 months old, but 2 of the games I've been playing for over a year, one of which I've been playing for probably 2 years, have well, that one lost all its progress. Just forget it. It's never gonna. It's not gonna happen. Your deck betrays you. So that game, I'm out. That was Tower of Saviors. Now, not a big loss there. I've been logging in every day to get a free diamond every day, and getting friend points to get free cards to power up the characters, but I hadn't actively actually played the game in probably a year. I only did the social actions, which is kind of a ridiculous way to go about things. Fade away. So, not a big loss at Tower of Saviors, although I had personally felt like I'd made a lot of progress, but for other people's how much progress they've made, it was ridiculously low, because I just didn't play the game as a match thing. But the other game I lost progress on is Adventure Town, where I've been playing Adventure Town for 2 years. This would be the second time I'd have to reboot. I was able to restore a little bit, but only a tiny bit, so saved me maybe the first month's worth of damage. Of the first month's worth of work, and everything else is gone. So I was almost to the point of beating that game, just like perfecting it. And so now if I have to go back and start from there, I probably am gonna rage quit there. I also lost Doomsday Clicker's progress, but I had only been playing that for about a week. So no big loss there. Was able to recover Clash Royale's progress, so no issue there. I lost some of my podcasts that I'd been synchronized. Well, I was able to restore an old restore, but some of the newer things I'd subscribed to weren't there. Not a big deal there. Most of my other programs on my phone, even though I have 100 plus things on my phone, most of the other ones, not an issue. Not an issue at all, because they just simply didn't have any data in them. One app I have I have a couple apps where I try to keep organized of my collection of comic books and DVDs and movies, and yeah, they always lose their memory, and it's pointless. I'm more upset on the DVDs, movies, and comics book issue in the fact that those are all collections I have that haven't grown in about 3 years. I haven't added anything to them, and I haven't read any of the comic books, and I haven't watched any of the movies. So they're very much dead, but I can't throw them away. I've been thinking today in kind of a depressive mood after having lost progress, even though I'm saying it's not a ton of progress. It is losing some progress, and I don't want to lose any. This is the Renounce Evil one, isn't this? I wouldn't have a 10 mana card in there if it weren't for that. But I've been thinking about the job I had for 5 years, and just that job paid a lot, and it was a lot of overtime, forced overtime, but overtime nonetheless. And
I can't do that. As
it was
you command.
It paid quite a significant amount of money. So I'm wondering where all that went, and it kind of did just disappear. Significant of the reason there was expenses. I mean, it paid a lot for the area, but it really didn't pay enough to pay bills. So that was definitely part of it. A lot of it was spending on stuff, and a lot of that stuff then turned around and was broken or in some other way lost to me.
As you command.
In the time of having that job, I bought a house. I filled the house full of appliances.
Can I light your fire?
And bought everything an adult needs. Typically, sometimes that is a lot of that stuff is given to you when you get married. Marriage is a great scam that I did not take advantage of. It's a great scam where you can get your friends, families, and parents to give you all the stuff you need. You get married, you get a bunch of stuff. You have kids, you get a bunch of stuff. Now, having kids particularly isn't a great scam, because then you have a kid you have to take care of that's way that's gonna cost you way more in the long run. But you just get these gifts, whereas if you buy a house and you're single, nobody gives you nothing. Literally, you don't get nothing. So I've contemplated, quote unquote, falling in love with somebody just so I could potentially have a free or better living situation, get more free stuff. I'm not sure that would really work in any way, and it would be super dishonest, and then I'd be married to somebody I didn't really want to be married to. So that's why it's never gone beyond a ridiculous thought. But yeah, I'm thinking about that time and thinking to myself, it's like, where did all that money go? And a lot of it is things broke. I know, like, all my yard equipment was stolen. My house that I purchased was a nightmare of a house, and it cost me probably a couple years' salary in itself of just repairing things. Just constantly going to Lowe's or Home Depot and like, I need this, I need this. I may have a few tools that I would still left that I bought to fix those things. But a lot of it went to bills. A significant amount of of all that income went to bills. I was somewhat prudent about saving a little bit, so that was nice, but tons of it went away. And so in this depressive attitude I've had after losing my data on my phone because I did something stupid myself, and it all kind of centered around my phone had been encrypted, and it seems like however I encrypted it, no other version of the Android could ever recognize that they're being encrypted, and they just say, well, you don't have anything there. I can't mount that data partition at all. And so it then became it's pretty much close to impossible to get a good clean update. Plus formatting and starting over is probably a decent thought anyway. And it's not even a full clean reboot. I still was able to use titanium backup to restore to an old backup. But I should have made a backup of my phone before I upgraded, and I didn't. It's completely 100% my fault. If I had just backed up everything right then and there, I would have done it, and I didn't think of it, and that goes to show how I am just not on the ball
you asked for
right now as far as IT stuff and computer stuff. I've moved mentally away from that. But also I would, to be honest, say, when you get into like high-level programming and stuff, it's pretty easy to miss the small things, the simple things. I've failed to be in an environment where I could really nurture the good habits of always backing up. If I had those good habits, I would certainly be a lot more motivated to fix the server, make sure everything is backed up. At the core of it, it's hard for me to make the argument to say I care when my actions don't agree with that. So, but yeah, it does feel like everything goes away as you get older. There was definitely things that I was 100% obsessed about. I thought this was going to be the biggest thing in my life ever when I was younger, and those projects, they were good learning experiences often, but they went nowhere. They did nothing. They completely just fell by the wayside. In the end, the only thing that's remained is me.
Can I light your fire?
Think more philosophically here. How many things do you have from when you were 1 year old? How many things did you love and want to have for the rest of your life when you were 1 year old? You probably don't remember 1 year old. So let's say 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds. This is an interesting
I will not be
thought.
trifled with.
Of course.
Outsider!
So now Cthulhu only costs 5. I could play him next turn if I felt like it. But he'd only do 6 damage.
What to do? What to do?
But yeah, how many things did you have at 2-year-old, 3-year-old? Is this an Overwatch card back? This is new. I didn't even hear about an Overwatch card back. I've been out of it. I finished Human Resource Machine, by the way. I maintain my thought. I don't think you can make a programming game. Period. I just don't think you can make them fun. If you has at least 10 health. Well, he doesn't, so.
The sleeper.
You have already lost.
So yeah. I think we're finally to the point where I can say clearly I'm not going to play Battle Royale or Overwatch. It was, in a lot of ways, even a mistake. Hey, he's done. That's nice. I wonder why he let me win there. In a lot of ways, it was a mistake to even start doing Hearthstone. But how can I argue against the views? If I had known it was very much competitive play, as much as it is. Let's see, we need a rogue or warrior now. This one's bugged. It will say we got it next time. Next game we play. Of course, I can't really get away from Hearthstone. Not that Hearthstone videos get me any views. And honestly, as things are going, just not related to my current disaster of losing all my data, but just related to not moving as fast as I would like. I don't feel like I feel like we're starting to enter the danger zone where I can miss days. I really do. And it wouldn't be too difficult for me to make that decision to say, let's hold back on Hearthstone. I'll just play it myself and just end the series.
One shot.
Would my blog, if we were going to go that way, what would my blog series be? Nothing would be my blog series, I think, is what I would determine. I'm just going to end my turn here and then play this next turn.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
What you got there?
Let's see. Yeah, I don't think anything would be a blog series at that point. I think I would just have all the coverage go as it is. A lot of times my coverage feels
Oops, I broke it.
Feels a little light. Human Resource Machine was a great example of that. It's like, what can you say? I had a few stories about programming. There was one program I programmed and then lost. So, kind of following that same thing, I think I just deleted it in favor of another more interesting program to me at the time. Partially that's the game's fault because it does only gives you 3 tabs to save things.
I bleed
where I think it would be nicer for it to give you like infinite version history so you could go backwards. There's definitely some compiler features that could have been in that game that might have made it a better programming
Back to your homes.
But still not going to make it a good game. It really isn't. Programming is kind of repetitive, very repetitive, and boring, and takes forever. I showed a very, very untrue depiction of playing that game.
My master?
By playing the game once before.
Here we go.
I was coming into some of those levels just breezing through it pretty consistently. Every hour I got 2 or 3, usually 3 programs done. So it was taking me just 20 minutes to point out the solutions. No struggle, no difficulty really at all. Maybe one I had a struggle on, and that's it. And then even if I did struggle, I just went to the previous save file and showed the answer. So it's super dishonest review. Presentation. I wouldn't say my review is dishonest because I was telling people what I was doing, but I wouldn't want to do that for many other games. In a lot of ways, I am already doing that for games I've played before many years ago. Let's try Warrior this time. Sadly, I can't do the Tavern Brawl anymore. That would have saved me some time. It's been a really long day besides all of that for other reasons, and here I am starting to record at 9:30 in the evening. I'm not going to throw off my sleep schedule and continue recording well into the evening. I'm just going to do this one recording and do that. And this has been a mistake that I've been making for the past week, playing Human Resource Machine when I should have been doing Shadows of Mordor. I still have some stuff to... I have like 60 videos I need to label and do the paperwork for. Not a big issue there.
Job's done.
I can fix that later. In fact, I've been having trouble of listening to podcasts and not having anything to do. And I've been having trouble of just times where I feel really, really tired and I just want to lie down. So I'm thinking, I'm trying to figure out things to do there. Always trying to figure out ways to increase my productivity, which is really low. It's really low, even though I'm putting out 7 videos a day. It is kind of low. But also I'm worrying, am I burned out? Is that the reason I haven't got the Shadows of Mordor? Really? Tomorrow, hopefully I'll start recording it. Hopefully I'll get into it really well and we'll be done with that. Even if I do get it done, I need to put some major effort into getting further ahead. E3 is about a month away right now. That's good. The Steam Summer Sale is about a month away. So there's one Humble Bundle I want to get because I think it's the right move to do it. It's going to give me Resident Evil 6 for $15. And that game alone is still kind of hovering above that, I think. So that's one of the many things that I'm worrying and wondering about. Are these two or three Humble Bundles I'm going to bite into the savings I can have during the summer sale? I don't know. A lot of stuff in the summer sale too. I'm thinking I'm going to go bigger games. It's been a year now, and I still have a significant number of games that I haven't played. I'm 1 month away from talking about doing Borderlands, and I still haven't gotten around to it. That's certainly something to keep in mind. Get this guy up, and then
I strike.
This and in return, this guy has 1 health. This guy has 1 health, so playing Whirlwind would be a mistake. I could do this on this guy. Hearthstone deck tracker was updated, but obviously it's not working.
I concede.
So that's a bit of an opportunity. Maybe I should play Hearthstone always in the evenings. Maybe that's part of the problem. But I'm also playing casual. Casual standard may have... this is probably our first foray into playing casual standard before... since the update of the Whisper of the Old Gods and the Standard and Wild things. So maybe casual has gotten easier. That would be nice. But I don't know if I believe it yet. Hearthstone deck trackers not finding these tags. Just isn't finding them. I don't know how to fix it. I could certainly come in there and pick the right one, but I don't care enough. And if I don't care enough, that means that statistics won't be down to that. But I don't play this all day on Twitch, so it doesn't matter. Speaking of Twitch, which that was an intentional segue there, I'm gonna just admit it. I was watching somebody start a Twitch stream and they were just hacking and coughing directly into the microphone really, really loud. I'm just like, oh my goodness, this sounds horrible. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You think people are just gonna watch you as you're coughing into the microphone? Maybe people do.
I broke it.
I wouldn't. I'd be like, I was out of there quickly. We could go over news quickly, but there's not a lot. Mirror's Edge 2 Catalyst still hasn't come out. Good, because that's scheduled, right? Battlefield Homefront looks like it's garbage. Doom is a surprising success. Do I want to play Doom? I kinda do, but I'm not going to. I can tell you that right now. It's just not gonna ever happen.
Job done.
So buying that game would be a ridiculous concept. I'll probably get it eventually. I wouldn't play the old Doom on this channel. I wouldn't play the new Doom on this channel. It's just, it's a first-person shooter. It's too first-person shootery. Same reason. It's the exact same reason I wouldn't ever play Halo series, and I probably wouldn't do Call of Duty, and I probably wouldn't do any of that. I think you lose me when it doesn't have that craziness and the quest system of Borderlands. Maybe you could convince me if it had just the quest system and the upgrade system of Borderlands, but it's real risky.
Here we go.
That I'd be able to manage it for long enough. But I am kind of glad to see that Doom is working. Doom is the same, I believe, on an upgraded version of the game Rage, and that was a game I got halfway through, and I might want to go back and play that on the id Tech engine, which is a really good-looking engine that really competes with Unreal. Unfortunately, nobody uses it. Maybe there's something wrong with the licenses on it compared to Unreal or what. But I would kind of like to see more people use the id Tech engine. But not gonna happen. Are there any other games out? The Assassin's Creed movie is going to spend most of its time in current time, so only like 15% of the movie is going to be set in the Animus in the past. I think you might get away with that, but it's a iffy proposition to think about. I'm not really certain. Really. I have a lack of confidence for the movie in itself. Setting it in modern times probably saves on budget, but I think probably for, if it's 15% of 2 hours, that's what? A fourth of that would be 15, an eighth of that would be
so many
7.
Possibilities.
Right? What's 15% of 120? That'd be 12 is 10%, and then half of 12, 18 minutes. If the movie is exactly 120 minutes long, 18 minutes are going to be set in the past. That's rather short.
Extraordinary.
And can you spend the other 102 minutes in the present running around trying to escape what is it? Abstergo and not being shot at or not getting shot. You can be shot at all you want as long as you can avoid the bullets. And
Why do you call
I assume run around in parkour. That's the real question, is not what's the percentage of doing things in animus. The real question is what is the percentage of running around doing parkour. And the trailer and the production hasn't really said anything along the lines of, oh, we hired this parkour master kid who knows exactly what he's doing and he's gonna run throughout the whole movie. And I'm not sure you could do something like that.
Here we go.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that would be an interesting movie, because you don't want it to be like that Hardcore Henry movie that I think was completely destined from the word go to be horrible, and I think people pretty much agreed it was horrible, although I'm not sure. I didn't even hear any reviews for it. It probably wasn't screened for anybody. You could do a better version of like an Assassin's Creed movie could be like Run Lola Run, but the fact that she's running in that movie doesn't really mean anything. I am so doomed.
My hand is too full.
Destroy a minion.
Here we go.
Job done.
So I have a 15-15 Cthulhu if he didn't kill me this turn. Is there another movie where you run around a lot and do a lot of parkour? Not really. Not any live action movies, at least. There's certainly some anime you could get out there and watch. They might have some effects closer to the thing, and that's why I think if you're gonna make a video game movie animated of some sort, it's probably your best bet. Let's try Warrior again. But then you don't get the predictability or the recognizability or the recognizability of an actor, and you don't get a lot of people willing to go to it. Still in America, much to its own detriment, people are not willing to go and watch Studio Ghibli movies, which is ridiculous. It doesn't matter if you're 2-year-old or 100-year-old, you should go see every single Studio Ghibli movie out there. It's the best movie you'll ever see in your life, whichever movie it is. Although I didn't go see the one about the airplanes that recently came out myself. Studio Ghibli, by the way, is co-funding a French movie, so people put on the internet this new Ghibli movie is coming out, and it looks nothing like Ghibli's animation. And I'm like, no, this isn't a Ghibli production.
You, my
and
master?
like, okay, so they paid for it, and they're pushing it out, but there's a very specific artistic style there that is very easy to recognize, and I did not recognize it. Let's just hit it in the face. I was having an interesting thought as we move further here. We're about 5 minutes from the end of this recording, and I'm just gonna get the rest done off screen. Just because I don't feel like making double recordings on these things. Nothing is going on that justifies it. I'm getting a lot of people liking my intro video, which is nice. My promo video of called All the Difference. I like that. I think most of them are bots liking it, but on Twitter too, and they're not really even liking it on YouTube, which would really help me.
Already lost.
But I would certainly appreciate people liking that. I put a lot of effort into it. It's not very good. I'll fully grant you that. Hopefully next intro I do, I can do a lot better. I've gotten off my Blender kick. I played with Blender for a week, and it certainly is the device the program I will use, or have somebody else use to make my intro, if I ever make an intro or outro. But me personally trying to get good enough to use it by myself is probably not likely to ever happen.
By the power of Ragnaros, I have the power!
This.
Be thirsty.
This. Let's see. Do I want to kill this guy? Yes, I do. So, yeah. I don't even know what I was talking about there. I'm so frazzled right now. I turned on my laptop hoping there would be a
so many
way of
possibilities.
undeleting some files or something, and looked at it, and it's like, man, I haven't turned this thing on in a year. There's another thing I spent a lot of money on. It's like, I have a lot of electronics, too many electronics that I've spent money on, used them for a decent amount of time, 6 months or something, but they still have a lot of life in them still. Let's see. How can we do this? Deal 1 damage, deal 1 damage, deal 1 damage.
Back to work!
There we go. What a play to end the game on. It's almost impossible not to win now.
Extraordinary. Well played.
I've got him dead to rights. Now. So, I guess we can wrap up just saying, hope tomorrow's a better day. I'll have to rebuild. I'll have to start over again. I've done it before, I'll do it again. Maybe this is just the closing chapter of the ending of one chapter in my life, and I start the next chapter tomorrow. That's not to say I'm making any plans to make any major changes to my channel or anything, but as far as backups and data on games I was playing on my phone, that's what I'm talking about. Anywho, we are in such a dry spell. Sorry about this. I really wish there was more to talk about, but there simply isn't. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, Comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. That helps out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.